And looks like, yeah, hello everyone, we're live. It's TwL Logic, 9th of November 2013 at 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the States. As you can probably tell from your screen, Tracie's not here at the moment, so I think she's running late, so we're just waiting to hear back from her. She should be here any second, so we're just going to have to do a little bit of improvising for the first few minutes. Just to let everyone know, you can call in, add the Skype contact TwL Logic, send me a quick Skype PM, giving me the gist of your question, and we'll add you in due course. Remember, when you do call in, you grant us permission to use your likeness, so no funny stuff with the DMCAs. Also, if looks like, yeah, hello everyone. And someone's echoing. Is it me? Yeah, it's me. Ah, right. Suffix. Just to let everyone know, if you do have problems with the video stream, you can go to twLLogic.com/live, and there's options to listen live. There's options to listen to the audio streams there. Ah, and echoing yet again. That's it. That should be it. Ah, one of these days. So yeah, go to twLLogic.com/live. You can listen to the audio streams. We also have an IRC chat room. If you go to irc.synirc.net, and the channel is TwL Logic, you can join us there. So I think that's all the announcements out of the way. And just a very quick one, we were due to have Steve Wells on, the author of the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, but unfortunately he couldn't make it today. So as I said, our kind of stand-in guest, she can't make it at the moment. So we're just going to have to improvise a little bit for the next few minutes. So I'll just go around the panel. And we'll welcome back another one of our old hosts from a long sabbatical. And, well, he's from Texas, like Tracie. So welcome back. Casey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Haven't been here since Easter.
And welcome back. I think this is your third in a row now, Sheila.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah, we get to keep you now. So you're one of us. And welcome in, as always, Marty. How's it going?
Hi. I'm fine.
All right. So
really tired though. But whatever.
So we'll just go right. Marty, have you got any news at all? What's happening? Any announcements or anything you want to?
Well, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but I guess I might as well say it. I've been challenged to a debate by some guy. I think he's from the Spirit Science Forum, so it's gonna be fun. I hope it's gonna be a little more highbrow than Jordan stuff.
Sheila, have you got any news for us as well?
Not real news, I guess.
Or announcements?
Yeah, not really. I got some articles I'm working on, but I don't really want to go into any of that until I actually get them published. So I'm actually going to, if you want to come back to me, I'm looking for something, a topic right now.
All right. And Casey?
Well, in Texas, it's still Texas.
And is that a good or bad thing?
Well, I'm not sure what to say. Well, maybe it could. It can be both a good thing or a bad thing. Well, the good thing is, at least I'm still here.
All right. Well, just like I say, we're stuck.
Yeah, I might as well announce another thing here. I'm coming up on. Okay, get ready to golf clap here. I'm coming up on 4,000 subs, and I figured I'm gonna do something for that.
Yeah.
So the suggestion was made that I do some sort of live ponage.
Yeah.
And I want suggestions.
Ooh.
You can always try the godandscience.org site.
I was going to suggest Mike Adams, but we've got that reserved. That's going to be our pre-Christmas extravaganza.
Yeah.
Deepak Chopra, I nominate for you.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be painful.
Yeah, someone asking, does Spirit Science actually have forums? And we've lost Marty there. Nicely timed, Marty. So yeah, there was another thing. The one interesting reason we did want Tracie Harris, Sheila will know about this, is Tracie's a former Church of Christ member. And Sheila, you're quite active on Secular Scotland, like I am. And kind of a few months ago, there was a bit of a controversy in a school in Kirktonholme in East Kilbride in Scotland. Now, just to give everyone a background, in Scotland, we have a very kind of odd system where religious observance is mandatory in our schools. And as a result of that, in some schools you get chaplaincies. And in this one church, in this one school, I should say, in Kirktonholme, the chaplains were from the Church of Christ. And it was found out that they had been distributing some interesting books they were giving them as as gifts to the kids, and for being so nice to them. They gave them these books, and they were young Earth creationist books. And there was I can't remember. Do you remember the titles of them, Sheila?
I actually used one of those in an article I wrote, so I'm going to pull that up real quick. Just give me 1 second.
But basically, it was the kind of people riding dinosaurs kind of stuff that they were distributing in the school. And as a result, because we do have them scheduled to call in the person who raised this whole issue with the school, it was like another member of Secular Scotland raised the issue with the headmistress, like I don't think this is appropriate. They should be dishing out creationist books in the school. You know, can you do something about this? And apparently the words from the headmistress were, well, they're just being nice, just accept it in the spirit it was given.
Truth Be Told, Exposing the Myth of Evolution.
Yeah, that's
by
one of the books.
Kyle Butt and Erica Lyons.
Yes. So, yeah, that happened, and there's kind of been a bit of furore about it. I think Church of Christ got removed from Kirktonholme, didn't they?
If I understand correctly, yes, they did.
Yeah. And so, and apparently, well, I can't really find out the truth about Church of Christ, because some people say they're quite fundamentalist and extremist, and others are telling me no, they're actually quite liberal. So, you know, that's why having Tracie on would have been good, because I know Tracie was a member of them while she lived in Florida.
I think it depends on who, what sort of interaction people have had. I guess it could be like any other religion. You know, there are going to be people who are really extremist about it. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, if you're walking into a school and handing out flyers trying to promote your religion, that's kind of coming up on extremist. You know, anytime you just try and shove it into anybody's face, you know, I gotta disagree with that. As much as I'm for the freedom, not just you know, away from religion, but the freedom to practice it, I don't think forcing it into anybody's face is really the way to go about doing it. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know the situation in Sweden, Marty. Do you have religious observance? Well, you've been a teacher, so you're in a good position.
It's never come up at the high school level. There's we don't actually have. I mean, the closest thing we get to it is like there are things like, well, things where you actually just happen to be in the church building, but there's actually nothing religious going on. It's the building. That's all. But everything in Sweden is, you know, school has to be, everything has to be from a non-confessional point of view. It's in the laws that govern the school system. So religion can,
but you do have
stay out of it, basically.
You can, but you can do RE studies in school, can't you? Is that optional? Like if the child wants to, you know, study religious education, like theology.
Oh no, that's mandatory.
Oh, that's mandatory.
You have to take, but it's taught from a non-confessional point of view. So it's here's what Christians believe, here's what Muslims believe, and so on. It's not here's how it is. You know.
Yeah, because well, from my memory,
I think that's actually a great thing, because I thought that was a very interesting subject to take, and it's actually something that got me interested in the subject of religion, and I still find it interesting.
Yeah, because well, the position in Scotland is we have that, and then an hour every week we actually have religious observance, which is the minister or the clergy from whatever local church comes in, and he basically gives a mini sermon. It is, and it's actually by default. Like if you send your child to a Scottish school, they're opted into that by default, and the parent has to specifically write to the school saying, no, I don't want them in that. And this has led to something else like that's going on is finding out that those that do opt out, there's nothing provided, and that's what's causing a lot of the contention right now. Because I think the curriculum says like there's going to be some kind of suitable activity put on, and as we know, even though it's in Ireland, like that's kind of what Sarah's going through right now. I don't know, for those who read Sarah's last blog post in the end of school mass, what the principal was proposing was for her just to go and sit out in the principal's car for an hour.
Yeah.
Which is just, you know, I mean, it's quite funny, but it's also quite scary to think that's how they view
Yeah,
it.
I mean, can't they at least have some sort of use this time to do your homework or something like that?
Yeah, just have a
I mean,
teacher say, well, this is a revision session or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been found out basically that those that are opting out aren't, like some have been made to sharpen pencils in a classroom and things like that. You know,
Well, it beats religious observance.
Well, I know, like, I did an interview with Mark Gordon back when he was working on his petition, and one of the things that he was talking, like his daughter, he had opted his daughter out of religious observance, and she just sat in the office with crayons and a coloring book for that time that they were in there. I mean, I would think that they would come up with some sort of a better way to use that time. I'm not against learning about different religions. I think actually it's important for people to understand that there are different belief systems out there. But I just, you know, forcing it on people is just not the way to go about doing it.
Yeah.
And we have a troll in the chat room, I think.
Really?
Oh, I hope it's the guy I was arguing with last night.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's either a troll or someone's fallen asleep on their keyboard, from what I can make out. They're leaning on their keyboard, kind of. Maybe they're just so intently listening. They're leaning on.
I've started assuming troll now because I'm getting so much hate mail.
Yeah, because no, maybe he's just so engrossed in the conversation. He's leaned so far forward, his elbows are on the keyboard or something. So I don't know. I'm going to quickly look up some news stories. Is there any other points of discussion?
Well, there was a. Well, I do remember hearing this one story where a preacher's school bus driver. Well, in Minnesota, he would pray with all the kids, with all the children being taken to school, to a middle school, and well, he even got a warning to stop, but of course he continued on and eventually got fired.
Yeah. No, there is a case going on in the States right now. I think it's regarding prayer council meetings. Sheila, are you aware of that one? And if I remember, it's a Jewish woman and an atheist woman brought up the case.
Is that I think there's one up in Pennsylvania or something that's going on?
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think, they first objected because there was obviously a Christian prayer, and they said, right, we're going to rotate through the religions. And essentially all they did was rotate through different Christian denominations.
Yeah, I just talked to one of the guys from the Pennsylvania. He's from a Pennsylvania non-believer group, the name of which escapes me at the moment. But yeah, essentially they had brought it out like they were going to open it up to any religion to come in and do their form of prayer or whatever at the beginning of the meeting, but in practice it didn't actually work out like that. I mean, this stuff like that always sounds good on paper, but then it doesn't actually end up happening in reality.
Yeah.
And then what you get is like what happened in Arizona, where we have this atheist politician that stood up and tried to do a humanist, kind of a humanist opening, and then they just kind of go in and cancel the whole thing out and say, well, that isn't actually, and we're not going to consider that an actual opening. Here's what we're going to use instead. So it's kind of just posturing and making it look good for those of us who are non-believers and who don't think that religion needs to be in government office. And when in actuality, they're doing the same thing that they always do.
Yeah. Right. Casey, were you going to say something earlier?
Well, I do know this one case that happened in Texas. So far, from what I hear, they're from the Freedom from Religion. Actually, Freedom from Religion Foundation. Yeah. What happened was somewhere in like one of the counties in South Texas, there was these cheerleaders that made these banners.
Yeah.
Basically, that were bluntly Christian and all that, and of course, Freedom from Religion Foundation managed to get make a case of it with it, because they argued that it was the cheerleaders' idea, not the schools, and they're somehow able to get away with it. Well, I actually, maybe it was like put on a little stall, but I don't know what's happened currently with it. Oh yeah, and also I'm sure that anyone who's paid attention to any of Perry's moves with trying to get religion in the school.
Yeah.
Remember the little Merry Christmas bill?
Oh yes, yeah. I think that's Rick. It was Rick Perry that came up with that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ongoing battle for Christmas, like we care. Like that's at the top of our list of things to worry about.
He passed a law. If I remember right, I think Russell Glasser said, he's gone and passed a law for something that's already in the law. It's gonna,
pretty much.
Well, they did outlaw Sharia law in Oklahoma, so.
Did they?
Oh, I'm not really surprised that would happen in Texas.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, Casey, like you're just kind of fresh out of school, so what was your kind of experience with religion in your high school and all that?
There was times when I remember back when I was in the high school, I remember one of the substitute teachers actually confronted me, basically that I need to know the truth, and that she recommended that I read some book about some atheist who found Christ. In other words, it was. What was the name of that guy that began trolling with logic?
Was it Lee Strobel book?
Lee Strobel,
yeah. That sounds like
that guy.
All right. But she actually openly said that to you.
Yeah.
So, like, was that kind of all the teachers were like that, were they? Was it very kind of?
Well, most of the teachers, from what I could tell, tried to keep it, neutral. Though, of course, it wasn't unusual for some to pretty much just, try, where they, okay, I'll just say this. Some teachers, for example, a history teacher I had, he basically said that, that Christianity is pretty much the U.S. religion, and when he was taught, and he also hates the ACLU because of how they're not respecting the majority, which is Christianity and all that. Telling this to the class, and he even said that, and of course when he did announce that he was going to be playing some Christmas music, and that and according to the law, he has to get permission from us if we want to see it, if we want to hear it. But then he says, "As in my personal thoughts, I honestly don't care what anyone thinks."
Just to let everyone know, we've had a few viewers join us. We are still trying to get a hold of Tracie Harris. Hopefully, she'll be along soon. I think she's running late at the moment. There was one thing I was going to break. Richard Dawkins was in the news yet again this week. The whole honey thing. And my only reaction was why on earth? I mean, it was just a daft tweet he put up, but it's just the way the press always seem to swarm around anything he says, which is what I can't get. And then the reaction kind of, I've had plenty of believers saying, "No, look at the daft thing Richard Dawkins says." I just don't give a shit, really. He says
is this the Honeygate thing?
Yeah. So you say he says some good. He does say some good, worthwhile things, and he also says some stupid things. I mean,
they attach gate to anything that happens anymore. It's all gates, honey gates. He tried to take honey on a plane, and he got pissed off because they wouldn't let him have it.
Yeah, and he just said, "Oh, Bin Laden is one, wasn't it?" or something like that.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's just kind of, it's the stupid things we'd all say in that situation. We'd all kind of come out with a quip like that, maybe.
Here's my thing. I don't care about Dawkins one way or another, you know. But for somebody who is as internationally traveled as he is, it kind of seems to me like you're just doing things like that just to create an issue. I mean, you know exactly what the rules are. You've traveled to all these places before, so why are you shocked and angry when it happens again? You know, when you get called out on regulations that you know are already there. So I think the whole thing, I think he made a big deal about it, and then everybody else made a big deal off of that as well, and it blew up and became just another gate, you know, and it's ridiculous. It's just kind of my view on it.
My brother was traveling back from New York to Texas. He could have just made a Coca-Cola gate because they made him throw out a full bottle of Coca-Cola in order to pass through. But of course, that doesn't get reported.
Right.
Your brother's not Richard Dawkins, though.
Nor is he a blogger.
All right. I just got to bring in Marty on that one. Do you have anything to say about that?
About what? About
Dawkins and the honey.
I haven't really paid attention to it. I just I don't care what he says or does. I mean, like you said, he says some good things, he says some bad things. I agree with some of the things he says. I don't agree with everything he says. Yeah. And frankly, I don't give a damn if he, if he does something that makes him look like an asshole in the media or something. I don't care.
Oh, apparently, I'm seeing in the chat room that Dawkins was debating Deepak Chopra today.
Wow.
That'd be interesting to see the list.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
I think that's just...
Along with a bottle of scotch.
Because I think anyone, if you've seen the Michael Shermer and Sam Harris debate with Deepak Chopra, that's just...
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of hilarious and it's frustrating, and it's just... And a lot of it, you're just, what? Because you can't understand a word Deepak Chopra says.
No.
Every time I'll hear the man speak, and it's not that he's got a bad I just don't know the words he's using. I know what they are, but he strings them together in such a bizarre way.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Maybe he just uses that to his advantage.
Because someone was saying Dawkins has said that he won't debate creationists because it won't look good in his CV or resume for our Americans. But is Chopra any better than a creationist?
No.
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 But I mean, I don't know.
Well, okay, in fairness, Chopra does actually have a degree.
Does he?
Yeah, I think he's an MD or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not relevant to what he's talking about, but at least he has an education.
Yeah.
I mean, he beats Kent Hovind any day of the week.
That is something very much in common with all the New Agers, is the language they use, and just how you can't understand what they're talking about a lot of the time.
No, all you can do is point out whatever you just
sense.
said, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. And, I mean, at least, it's kind of bizarre. It sounds like I'm praising creationists. They're forming some kind of cogent argument, something you can actually address and dissect and all that.
Not a cogent argument, but
well, no, but it's like when it's
an
written.
argument.
It's a
you
statement.
can address it.
Yeah,
exactly.
But you can't address a New Ager.
Oh, no.
And it was like.
Does having a degree matter if you're not using it? Honestly, I mean, does having that education even count? Really?
I think,
not really, but it.
Well, it was Concordance was bringing this up. That's.
The fact that it's a person who has at least been able to get a degree without having to, buy it.
Yeah. But like, there's even some creationists...
We're starting a thesis with, "Hi, my name is Kent Hovind."
But no, there's even some creationists...
I need to read that again. It was just so hilarious.
I say there's even some creationists who do hold actual proper PhDs in relevant fields, but like Concordance was pointing out, that actually means nothing a lot of the time. And some of them do actually do one or two papers, but as Concordance was saying, that still doesn't really bear much. Because as I said, it's more about like what have you contributed overall to your field. Cause,
yeah, that's true.
Because you've got, was even going back to Richard Dawkins, he's not that prolific in his paper publishing, but what he has published you know, so followed up, and it's been studied and led to further, you know, knowledge.
And I would still say that you know, those nut job sort of, you know, botanists they have working for Answers in Genesis or whatever it was. I mean, they sure they have PhDs in some field within biology. Well, I'd sooner listen to one of them than Kent or Eric or Ray or you know, one of those guys who have nothing. I mean, they're still wrong, but you know, at least you can have a more informed discussion with someone like that.
Yeah, that's right. Because I have actually had that in some encounters with creationists recently. They bring up Dawkins' a few papers he's written. But it's then asking, can you go and look up how much follow-up his papers got? And they've had a huge follow-up. Like, you know, if Kit was here, he could probably tell you, like, he can only dream of having the follow-up that Dawkins gets in some papers.
So he cites his sources pretty well.
Yep.
That's a nice comment there. If Deepak had a stroke, would his quantum babble sound any different? No, it wouldn't.
It might sound better, to be honest.
Yeah.
But now we're going on a dodgy path. This is just the bit that people are going to quote mine now for us making fun of Deepak Chopra. See, we need Coughlin here to make that sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just scanning through. Yeah, there's no real other big news stories as such.
Here's kind of why I was asking a question about the degree in the first place. I just got into, I don't want to call it a debate because that would be giving her side a little too much credit, but I got into an argument with someone claiming to be a feminist last night.
Yeah.
And she's, as far as I'm concerned, she's not a feminist. She's a women's liber. She's fighting more for liberation from men than she is for equality. And she's, you know, a lot of what she's using, although she claims she's not quoting from, you know, 1970s liberation movement paraphernalia, but a lot of what she says sounds a lot like that. So I you know, made a random guess. Well, obviously you've had some sort of women's lib class that you're getting all this misinformation from, and it comes out that she's got a bachelor's in women's studies. Okay, that's fine, but the problem with having a degree like that doesn't mean anything if you're getting bad information in the first place. I mean, everything that she's spouting out is all liberation movement stuff. It has nothing at all to do. She doesn't want men to be treated equally. She doesn't want any help in the feminist fight for equality from men, strictly because of what lies between their legs. Men are automatically, whatever they have to say means nothing just because they are men. So all of your women, and she's misquoting information about how, you know, what feminists have done for us in relation to what the women's lib movement has done for us as far as getting us anywhere. So all her degree, as far as I'm concerned, means absolutely nothing, because everything that she's quoting so far is wrong. So I guess that's kind of my thing, is if, you know, having a degree doesn't necessarily mean anything if the education that you're getting is all based on bad information.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it's one of these subjects I haven't delved much into. Just basically you see the storm that comes out of this each time online.
Yeah.
I think, and that's
I try to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Is it in the comments section?
What?
Is it in the comments section?
What is?
What's that?
The storm.
No, but just it's generated so much drama.
Right. Well, and you know, I'm certainly not trying to start a conversation about feminism or anything. It just, you know, as an example, I don't necessarily, you know, telling me that you've got a degree doesn't mean anything if you're spouting a bunch of stupid information at me in the first place. You know, so. Well,
it's sort of like to go to Star Trek. It's like Picard when he's telling Wesley Crusher about going to the academy, that one of the wisest people there that he'll learn the most from is the janitor.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
just the way it works sometimes. Like, a smart person can be really smart without it. I mean, we had George Hrabowski on this show, and he's an amateur scientist. And he's managed to get loads, and he's got no formal qualifications. And his book is like, have you read the book yet, Marty?
No.
You'd love the book. I mean, he explains like how to do the math and all that. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's accessible to everyone. And he does say that if you've got like a decent background in math, it just tells you how you can do some simple physics, well, even quite complex quantum physics, and you don't really need the 10 years in a locked away in a university to do it.
I'm pretty sure that I'm familiar with the content because a lot of that has been it's been made available in Leonard Suskind's lectures.
Yeah, well, that's basically.
And I've watched those, so and I think they're great.
Yeah, because the book's actually kind of an accompaniment to the lectures.
Yeah.
So what are the lectures like? Seeing as you've actually, I've read the book, but I'm not.
They don't make for very good YouTube videos, if I put it that way, because you have the students asking questions and it's bad audio from them and stuff like that. So sometimes it's a little bit annoying, and when some of the students don't get some pretty basic stuff, and it just you don't know how far you should fast forward, so that gets annoying. But other than that, they're good. You don't have to be an expert to understand them. You need a working understanding of calculus, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's like what Phil Moriarty told us. Just because you watch, say you watch a Stephen Hawking documentary, you're nowhere near an expert on this stuff.
I've learned much more about general relativity from Susskind than I have from any documentary I've ever watched or any popular science type thing. I mean, this is, you get the actual math. You just don't do exercises. You just have a quick walkthrough of it.
Yeah. Oh, there's people coming up with a random Deepak Chopra quote in the chat room. They're using the generator.
Exterminate your quantum entanglement and you exterminate your inner creativity.
That actually sounds like a real Deepak Chopra quote.
We need Lundy.
Lundy's Deepak Chopra impression is second to none.
That's awesome.
Exterminate your quantum entanglement and you exterminate your inner creativity. I think something like that.
I think you sound more like a poo.
That sounded more like a poo, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So, I was going to be speaking, and I can probably speak about upcoming. Like I say, everyone who's in the room, Tracie's not here yet. She does seem to be running a little bit late. We're going to hang on, and hopefully she will turn up soon. But in the meantime,
did she think it was on Sunday?
I'm pretty sure I said Saturday to her.
Yeah,
no, she did. She did share the thing on her Facebook thing. In fact, I'll check.
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
I'll check her feed, unless I'm thinking maybe she's got the time wrong.
That's another possibility.
We have had that a few times. They come in an hour late, so you might get 2.5 hours of us tonight.
Did you tell her to it in British time or Central time?
Eastern.
Oh.
So I'll just go through. So yeah, it's, what's the time are you right now? It's 1:40, is it? 12.
It's 1:39.
1:39 p.m. So I'm just looking through Tracie Harris' Facebook right now. Talk away, guys. There we go.
Yeah. Can we get some more Deepak quotes?
Posting a reminder, I will be chatting with the team at TwL Logic tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time. What is that?
That's why she's off. It's actually 1 o'clock Central Time.
Oh, right, so we're way early.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, bloody hell. So,
That's the time zone I'm in. And I think that's, Casey, that's where you are too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Central Time.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm just going to check.
Oh well.
So yeah, she'll be along much later.
Oh, great. Oh well.
Stay for our 12 o'clock show in the morning.
Oh well, we can take it up to the top of the hour, I suppose. Yeah, because there's a link in the video description which gives all the time zones, and it says 7 p.m. UK time, so she must have got the time mixed up somehow. Because I put 2 p.m. Eastern in the video, and that's 1 p.m. Central, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's off by 2 hours. That's great.
Let's have a real discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one time I heard this quote. It was known as the nemesis. It was describing the nemesis of reason. Of course, it goes like this. Words describing it fail. Pages recounting it shred, and tales related to it end. Actually, goes pages pages related to it shrivel, and tales recounting it end.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I have no idea what that means.
You lost me completely.
Yes, that's what we think. It's kind of, I don't know. You've gone Deepak there.
Where is that damn generator? I'm gonna have some fun.
So yeah, so sorry about that. Seems there's been a mix-up somewhere with Tracie. So
there we go. Wisdomofchopra.com.
Yes. There's also another site you should go to called D-Bag Chopra, Douchebag Chopra. And it's just like, it's kind of someone pretending to be him. And there was one tweet they put up one day, and all it said was quantum, 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 profit, quantum.
So he was doing Pokemon.
Your heart is inside the species-specific sexual energy.
It says wrong.
What?
The physical world is in the midst of infinite life. That actually just sounds like a normal. That sounds like just Deepak. And
wholeness unfolds into quantum success.
all right, we've kind of. Oh well, so it looks like we've got the times wrong then. Well, somebody's got the times wrong. I don't know. Because I did get the times right for you, Sheila. Yeah. Well, obviously you got here in the right time. And Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think we're gonna have to blame the guest actually. Which is not a great way of attracting guests, but whatever.
Oh, well, she's had to deal with Matt from Oslo, so she can take it.
Yeah.
Oh, so then, did you actually see the show where they found out who Matt from Oslo was?
I don't know exactly.
It was actually two brothers that were doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that.
And they're Swedish.
Yeah.
It was actually quite funny because what happened was, I don't know how Russell did it, but he got all the personal information beforehand. And it was in a post-show call. He called up, did his screaming. And Russell just sat there and just says, hello, he says. And he goes, yeah, what the fuck? And he goes, hi, Joel. And he goes, what? Hi, Joel. I said, how do you know, Russell? And just said, you're a StarCraft player, aren't you? He's like, what?
Oh,
what?
yeah.
I said,
I knew he was a StarCraft player, but...
it was just when he got his name in that. He said, hi, Joel, you play StarCraft, don't you? It was just like, it totally stumped him, that one. Yeah, I think, shall we go offline for a bit and save ourselves, be back in a bit?
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
Because I think you usually need to eat after we do a broadcast, so this can give you a chance to get the food early, Marty. So everyone in the room, very sorry. We'll be back in just over an hour with Tracie. So there's been a mix-up somewhere. I'm not willing to blame the guest yet. Marty is, so good call. And for once, I'm the good.
I don't think it's on purpose.
Yeah, for once.
I know. Oh yeah, actually maybe it's not so unusual because I heard that in Sweden, if you are late to something, you are late. You must be at that time right there. Is that true?
Kind of. It's the idea of being fashionably late is regarded as very impolite.
All right. Anyway, like I said, we'll see everyone in about just an hour and 15 minutes, and we should be back with a real life Tracie to bolster the show. Okay, we'll see you all later. Sorry for the mix-up. Just see everyone back later. So there's lots of good videos out, and you could watch Coughlin's Ponage of Atheism Defended and hear his Mortimer impression in it, which sounds nothing like Mortimer. Coughlin's many things, and one thing he is not is an impressionist. I'll say that one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you all in a bit. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Suffix. Just to let everyone know, if you do have problems with the video stream, you can go to TwLLive and there's options to listen live. There's options to listen to the audio streams there. And echoing yet again. That's it. That should be it. One of these days. So yeah, go to TwLLive. You can listen to the audio streams. We also have an IRC chat room. If you go to irc.synirc.net and the channel is TwL Logic, you can join us there. So I think that's all the announcements out of the way. And just a very quick one, we were due to have Steve Wells on, the author of the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, but unfortunately he couldn't make it today. So as I said, our kind of stand-in.
At least I'm still here.
All right. Well, I'm just going to say we're stuck.
I might as well announce another thing here. I'm coming up on. Okay, get ready to golf clap here. I'm coming up on 4,000 subs, and I figured I'm going to do something for that.
Yeah.
So the suggestion was made that I do some sort of live ponage.
Yeah.
And I want suggestions.
Ooh.
You can always try the godandscience.org site.
I was going to suggest Mike Adams, but we've got that reserved. That's going to be our pre-Christmas extravaganza. Deepak Chopra, I nominate for you.
Challenged to a debate by some guy. I think he's from the Spirit Science Forum, so it's going to be fun. I hope it's going to be a little more highbrow than Jordan stuff.
Sheila, have you got any news for us as well?
Not real news, I guess.
Or announcements?
Yeah, not really. I got some articles I'm working on, but I don't really want to go into any of that until I actually get them published. So I'm actually going to, if you want to come back to me, I'm looking for something, a topic right now.
All right. And Casey?
Well, in Texas, it's still Texas.
And is that a good or bad thing?
Well, I'm not sure what to say. Well, maybe it could. It can be both a good thing or a bad thing. Well, the good thing is,
yes, she can't make it at the moment, so we're just going to have to improvise a little bit for the next few minutes. So we'll just go around the panel, and we'll welcome back another one of our old hosts from a long sabbatical. And well, he's from Texas, like Tracie. So welcome back, Casey. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Haven't been here since Easter.
And welcome back. I think this is your third in a row now, Sheila.
Yes, it is.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, we get to keep you now. So you're one of us. And welcome in, as always, Marty. How's it going?
I'm fine.
All right. So
I'm really tired though. But whatever.
So we'll just go right. Marty, have you got any news at all? What's happening? Any announcements or anything you want to?
Well, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but I guess I might as well say it. I've been
And looks like, yeah, hello everyone, we're live. It's TwL Logic, 9th of November 2013 at 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the States. As you can probably tell from your screen, Tracie's not here at the moment, so I think she's running late, so we're just waiting to hear back from her. She should be here any second, so we're just going to have to do a little bit of improvising for the first few minutes. Just to let everyone know, you can call in, add the Skype contact TwL Logic, send me a quick Skype PM, giving me the gist of your question, and we'll add you in due course. Remember, when you do call in, you grant us permission to use your likeness, so no funny stuff for the DMCAs. Also, if you looks like, yeah, hello everyone. And someone's echoing. Is it me? Yeah, it's me. Ah, right.